Revenge films.
My name is Masato, and currently I'm living with my wife, Chizuru. She's 3 years younger than me, and she's a bit of a goofball. She doesn't like doing the chores around the house very much, and when she comes back from her part-time job at the family diner, she sits on the sofa and plays games on her phone. That's why I do most of the chores for her. I would love it if she helped out a little more, but she's energetic and pretty, so I could never be too hard on her. But I guess I shouldn't have pampered her like that because she started going out every night without even telling me when she was coming home. And so one day, I got tired of her behavior and decided to talk to her about it. But that's when she said something unbelievable.
I'm home.
Welcome back. Where were you?
I was eating out with some of my friends.
You've been eating out every night recently.
Yeah, so what? Do you have a problem with it?
Who do you even go out with every night?
I always go out with some of my coworkers. They're all nice people, and I love hanging out with them.
Wait, really? None of them are guys, right?
Well, some of them actually are. Why do you ask?
Wait, you're kidding, right? An awkward silence filled the room for a couple of seconds. But then my wife started telling me all about these co-workers that she'd been hanging out with. She told me that she's even gone out drinking with one of her male co-workers just by themselves. But you really shouldn't be going out drinking with other men. It's almost like you're cheating on me. It doesn't make any sense.
Really? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of into him. And I've been thinking about who I should choose, you or him.
And when I heard her say that, my jaw dropped. I was so shocked that I couldn't even say anything. She's interested in another guy? So she's basically admitted to cheating on me. How is this any fair? Sure, my wife was a bit of a goofball, but this was crossing the line. I couldn't let her do this to me anymore. So you are cheating on me then? What the hell? I can't let you see this guy anymore. Please, stop going out for drinks with him.
What? Are you kidding me, right? But I need him in my life. I can't just not see him anymore. I love you, but I can't just do that for you.
Are you being serious right now?
Of course I am. I didn't know you were this stubborn. I'm kind of disappointed in you right now, honey. But anyway, I'm gonna think about who I should choose, so can you leave me alone for a bit?
And so my wife locked herself up in her room for the rest of the night. She didn't even come out the next morning and stayed cooped up in her little den. And the next day, my wife left the apartment without telling me. She didn't come home for a week, and during her absence, she ignored all of my text messages and calls. She's definitely at her boyfriend's house, isn't she? This is insane! How could she do this to me? And while I was at home alone, I thought about a lot of things. I've been taking care of her this entire time, but she abandoned me out of nowhere and left me for another man. Everything I've done for her, but it was all for nothing. The more I thought about it, the more I became sad and pissed off. And on day 7, I made up my mind. I'm going to stop waiting for my wife to come back home, and I'm going to do everything I can to take advantage of my current situation. And so, I visited a lawyer to figure out what my options were. He gave me a lot of helpful advice, and we thought about different things I could do to make my wife pay for betraying me. But we eventually came to the conclusion that I should ask my wife who her boyfriend exactly is and seek compensation from him. And a week later, when I got home from work, my wife was sitting on the sofa like nothing had happened.
Hey, welcome back.
I wanted to yell at her and ask her why she was doing this to me, but I held back my anger. I wanted to make sure that I got her boyfriend's name out of her, so I had to restrain myself. So where the hell were you?
I was at my boyfriend's house, obviously.
What kind of person is he?
He can be a bit childish and immature at times, but he's also very straightforward and talkative. I feel like we're just meant to be, you know?
I see.
We've been talking, and we decided that it'd be best if I got a divorce with you. Sorry, Masato.
What?
I told him about how you asked me to stop seeing him, and he told me that I should get a divorce with you.
I guess getting a divorce from me isn't that big of a deal for her. That kinda makes me sad.
So, how much can you pay me?
What? What are you talking about? Why would I pay you anything?
Well, I heard that men have to pay their wives money when couples get a divorce, and I was planning on using that money to move into a new home with my boyfriend.
I couldn't understand what my wife was saying, but this gave me an idea. I know how I can get revenge on my wife now, and so, in order to execute my grand plan, I decided to let my wife continue believing this lie.
And once you figure out how much you need to pay me, let me know. We're gonna need a lot of money to move out of our current apartment, so make it quick, alright?
Okay, sounds good. I'll definitely contact you once I figure out the situation with the compensation. But could you tell me why you're getting a divorce from me? I want to know more about your boyfriend. I mean, you love him more than me, right? That must mean that he's a really attractive person and I want to become more like him.
Sure.
And when I praised my wife's boyfriend, she started talking about him endlessly. I guess she really wanted to brag about her soon-to-be husband. I made sure to record our conversation with my phone so I had evidence that could come in handy later. Apparently, my wife's boyfriend is one of her co-workers, and they're the exact same age. I guess that's part of the reason why they get along with each other. They started sleeping with each other about 6 months ago after they both attended an end-of-the-year party together. And after that, they started seeing each other almost every other day. He currently lives with his parents, so he and my wife really need me to compensate them for the divorce so they can get a place for themselves. I had a hard time listening to her talk about her new boyfriend, but I knew I had to pay attention to get revenge on her. And a few days later, my wife went to her boyfriend's house again, and she hasn't come home for a few days. So while she was away, I had a locksmith come over to our house and change the lock on our front door. I also contacted her boss at the family diner and told her about the affair she was having with her coworker. I got support from my lawyer, and we were able to track down her boyfriend's address. And then we sent his parents a letter detailing what their son has done. A few hours later, my wife came home with sweat running down her forehead.
What the hell? Why won't you open the door, Masato? Are you in there? You need to open the door. Please, let me in.
What do you want?
I need to talk to you about something. Apparently, I have to compensate you for the divorce now, which doesn't make any sense. And his parents know about what my boyfriend did now, and they kicked him out of their house. What in the world is going on?
Well, please talk to my lawyer about that. I'm not interested in having a conversation with you anymore. Oh, and I sent your parents the divorce documents, so make sure you sign them.
What? You sent the divorce document to my parents' place? Anyway, you need to open the door. I have nowhere to go now.
Well, why should I care? You're the one that wanted the divorce in the first place, right?
But you never told me that I was going to have to pay you, and not the other way around.
You cheated on me, and it's only fair that you compensate me for betraying me.
What? But that doesn't make any sense. I never cheated on you. I told you about my boyfriend, didn't I?
That doesn't matter. You can't go out with another man when you're already married to me. Now go home.
Please, you can't abandon me like this. We can talk about this, you know? And besides, we don't really have to go through with the divorce.
Well, it's too late for that. Your parents should have already received the divorce documents, so we can't turn back now.
No! Why the hell is this happening to me?
You brought this upon yourself. My wife and her boyfriend have been maxing out their credit cards recently because they thought I was going to have to compensate them for the divorce. But because of that, they're in a ton of debt now. And when his parents read the letter I sent them, they found out that their son had been knowingly going out with a married woman. They ended up kicking the two out of the house and cut ties with them entirely. I also explained the situation in depth to my wife's parents, so now they're really mad at her as well. I guess that's why she has nowhere to go now. And they also ended up getting fired from their jobs. Now they're roaming the streets without anywhere to go. They don't have anyone to support them anymore, and so they're trying to figure out how they can survive every day. My wife had to let go of her phone as well, so she hasn't reached out to me in weeks. Oh, yeah, and a year after I got a divorce with my ex-wife, I got a new girlfriend. I don't want to date someone like her ever again, and hopefully things will go better this time around.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.